My name is Dele Momodu, and I have known Papa, I called him Papa, for 2 decades or more. We had a lot of interactions. I remember some of the interactions now. I remember the first time we featured him on the cover of Ovation International magazine. He ordered for 5,000 copies in advance. We printed in England, and when the magazines arrived, I called him. I said, Papa, the magazines are here. He called me Alagba. I said, Alagba, bring 10 copies. So I thought he wanted to see it first, and then he would order for the rest. He had paid in advance. So when I got here, I gave him the copies, he liked them. Then I said, so when should we bring the remaining copies? He said, Alagba, go and sell it and make the money. Imagine someone paying you for 5,000 copies of a magazine and taking just 10 and asking you to go and sell the rest. Then, shortly after, he called me back. He said, Alagba, you have caused problem in my house. I said, what happened, sir? He said, my wife said, how can I be the only one on the cover? He said, but I told her you don't like publicity. He said, Madam said, no, Ovation is different. I like Ovation. And that started our relationship. And for the first time, we had Pastor Joshua back to back. We had to do another cover the following month. And when he came out, he had ordered as usual 5,000 copies. He collected 10 and said I should go and sell the rest. He was such a man who was so generous, you know. Then I'll give you 2 more examples. I had cataract operations in London. My eyes had issues. And after the operations one night, in the dead of the night, I saw a strange number calling me. Normally I won't pick, but I don't know why. I just picked it. And I heard Alagba. And I said, sir, I know the only person who calls me Alagba is Papa. And he started smiling. He said, you have problems with your eyes? I said, yes, sir. He said, how is it now? I said, oh, I'm okay. I've done the surgery and it went well. He said, I would like to pay the bill. I said, the bill has already been paid, sir. He called me 3 times that night and insisted I must send my account details. And he paid. I would never forget that occasion. Then, when I was contesting presidential election in 2011, I was in New York. I was already on a flight going to London, Virgin Atlantic. And I received a call. And who was on the line? Papa. I said, Alagba, where are you? I said, I'm in New York. So where are you going now? I said, I'm going to London. He said, please, when you get back, call me. So when I got back, I called him, and he asked me to come. It must have been around midnight. It rained dogs and cats that night. But he said I must come. So I came, and then he took me up in the apartment where he used to meet with me. He said, I love what you are doing. You are not going to win this election, but don't give up, because you are going to be very relevant in Nigeria. I said, thank you, sir. Then I told him, I said I was worried, because some people were making crank calls to me, threatening me, despite the fact that they knew I had no chance of winning. He said, Alagba, stop worrying yourself. You will never die before your appointed time. I took that from him, and from that day, I started living my life normal. And then he was carrying 2 carrier bags. I won't forget. One of them contained the usual church CDs, and the other was filled with money. He said, for me to let you know that I believe in what you are doing and you shouldn't stop doing it, I have money here for me, for you. And twice he called me and he supported my dream. The final example was 2 years ago. I had called him that there is an Israeli friend of mine who heard he was coming to Nazareth for the crusade, and they wanted to see how they could be a part of it. And he said, oh, he's already giving out to some other consultants, but I should ask the lady to call. And thereafter, Papa called me back and said, would you like to come to Nazareth? I said, why not, Papa? It will be a very good opportunity for me to see you, to interact with you, and then witness your crusade. In fact, that was the only crusade I ever witnessed. And I went with him. He bought the ticket, he paid for everything, and I went with him to Nazareth. And I can tell you that that was a huge experience to see a Nigerian, to see an African. Every taxi driver in Israel knew about Prophet TB Joshua. Here was a man that Nigerians nearly ran out of town. I wrote an open letter to him in 2017 when he said he was going to move away from Nigeria. I said, Papa, no, don't try, sir. This is your country. We have to fight it out, and nobody is going to chase you away from this country. Last week, it was Femi Fanikayo Day, and Omoyele Sowore, they were trying to reach me. Omoyele said, have you heard? I know you are close to Prophet TB Joshua. I said, yes. Once Nigerians say, have you heard, they are going to give you a bad story. I said, what happened? He said, he heard that the man has passed on. I said, what? So I started calling. I called Papa's number. It rang out. I sent a message to the WhatsApp. This is Dele Momodu. I didn't know I was sending a message to him in heaven, And then later I was able to confirm. And trust me, since then, it's been hell for everybody. But I pray that Papa's soul will find peace, will find eternal rest in our Lord Jesus Christ. Whatever anybody may say about him, he lived a very good life. He lived a life worthy of emulation. As successful as he was very, very simple, easygoing, and I am sure he would not deliberately hurt a fly. So may God accept his soul, and may God bless all of you who are standing by and standing with him and his family. And may the good Lord protect you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.